We say good morning to you. Welcome. We are live at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. We're here again on this Tuesday, September the 12th, ready to go. We thank you for being with us wherever you may be. Be sure and like us and share us. And gosh, we're here at the quest for perfect barbecue at Phil's Dream Pit. We got lots to talk about again on this Tuesday, September the 12th. Tennessee football, will we have a game? Does it matter if we have a game? Well, I guess it does to a point, but, you know, there's a lot of hurting people down in Florida, obviously, so we're going to go through all the games that have been canceled and rescheduled coming up here in just a few minutes. NFL Monday Night Football, had a couple of ball games to tell you about. We got the Major League Baseball. We've got, we got some NASCAR news, but high school football polls are out this week, so lots going on, lots to talk about here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number 591 is the magic number for today on this 12th day of September 2017. And the verse of the day to get us started, we unashamedly dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross. It says, "Wait on me, I will show you my ways, I will teach you my paths, I will lead you in truth, I am the God of your salvation." And that is the verse of the day out of the book of Psalms 25, 4 and 5 is our verse of the day. And so, wait on me, I will show you my ways, I will teach you my paths, I will lead you in truth, I am the God of your salvation. That is the verse of the day, and that's a good one here, again, on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Our guest today, we've got my man Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park, so he'll join us coming up here in just a few minutes. Also, Zach McNabb, my channel, Diecast Geek. We had him on the show last week, such a big hit that folks have clamored for him to come back and be on the show again this week, so he's coming. Bringing some cars. This kid's, 13, 14 years old, and so Zach is going to bring in some cars and talk to us about this. He has his own little show on YouTube, which I think is pretty cool. Bill Robinson, the head basketball coach at Milligan College, is going to join us, so all that straight ahead. Plus Phil Pipkin, again, the owner of Phil's Dream Pit. It's football time in Tennessee. There's a lot of different reasons and ways you can come through here and sit down and eat and join us, or get it to go, or my man just brought me a gift. I collect refrigerator magnets, the USS Arizona Memorial. How about that? Okay. Rob Cole's in my will. That's cool. I love it. That'll be magnet number 874, I think. 873. I'm going to go back and count them. I'll just guesstimate, but I got them everywhere. Refrigerator magnets. And I don't have this one. Check that out. The USS Arizona. I'm going to get my finger out of the way. I know you don't care about this, but I love him. USS Arizona Memorial. Thank you, Rob Cole. Quick break. We'll come right back, and we'll put him on. Talk a little Bays Mountain Park. Talk a little college football. Talk a little pro football. His Rams put a butt whooping on some boys on Sunday. Also, we'll talk about his Cardinals. Don't look now, but here comes St. Louis. We'll check in with Rob Cole next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Chevy Summer Drive to unbelievable savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. With a selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from, don't miss out on the Chevy Summer Drive sale. 17 Silverado Crew Cab 1LT, $11,000 off MSRP. 17 Equinox Traction Traverse, $5,000 off MSRP. 17 Cruisin' Sonic, 25% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, one family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. No, I'm not Rob Cole, but he's ready to come on the show. He's here. He's ready. Brought me a refrigerator magnet, which I think's very special. Hit that button. Boom. There he is, my man Rob Cole. First off, belated, but happy. Congratulations, I should say. Happy. You say don't say happy birthday. We do, but just not a birthday. Happy marriage, I guess. Happy congratulations. What are you supposed to say? What's the official thing I say? I don't know how to say it. I'm kind of goofy.
We'll take it. Whatever it is, we'll take it.
Yeah. Anyway, he and his lovely bride went to the wedding a couple of weeks ago, and now that you're back, where'd you guys go on your honeymoon?
Went to Hawaii. went to paradise. Paradise on earth, it is.
Somebody at your wedding said, I said, where are they going on the honeymoon? He said, I think they're going to Blowing Rock. I said, oh, okay. Blowing Rock in Hawaii is, I guess you go to Boone and make a hard right or hard left to head to Hawaii. That's cool.
That's it. Hard right.
Well, see, that makes better sense. I thought, he got this at Blowing Rock. That's pretty cool. A magnet that says it's Arizona. You went to Hawaii. That's awesome. I've never been. Pretty cool.
It's beautiful. It's, if you ever get a chance to go, you gotta go. It is just, I'll tell you, it makes you just wonder what heaven's going to be like. I mean, it's just beautiful. Just beautiful.
Did you go to I assume you went to the Pearl Harbor?
Did.
Yeah.
Did. It's amazing. It's, actually was out there on the Arizona Memorial, and it's just, there's such a sense of awe. It's very humbling. Yeah,
I remember our buddy Tim Copenhagen from Champion. He went out there this summer, said the oil's still bubbling up.
It is.
How does that, see, I don't, after all these years, I mean, at some point you'd think it's nonstop coming up.
Yeah.
So you would think at some point it'd run out of oil, wouldn't you?
You'd think it would.
I mean, 50-some years?
You'd think it should.
Yeah, but it hasn't.
I mean, think about that now. I think we're at, 72 years now after that?
Was it 72? I said 51. I wasn't even close. 72 years.
See. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry, 76.
76 years and still dripping oil coming up. See, that's hard for me to fathom.
Spectacular.
Yeah. So at some point, I mean, you would think it would run out. But anyway, you had a great time, and you're back, and he's going to talk about Bays Mountain Park coming up here in a minute. How about let's jump in and talk about your Cardinals. Look here. Don't look now, but here comes St. Louis in the Central. Cubs floundering. They've lost 3 in a row, 6 out of their last 10. Cardinals have won 3 straight, 8 out of their last 10. They've cut it down to 2 games. Oh, baby. Here comes the Cardinals, right?
Well, we hope. We're going to, I'd like to think that as much as anybody, we've got a shot right now. It's going to make for an exciting last 3 weeks of the season, man. I'm pretty pumped.
Well, you've got Arizona, Colorado ahead of you in the wild card, and then Milwaukee's a half game behind you. But you've got the Reds. You feel pretty good about playing the Reds. They couldn't beat Sisters or the whatever. So you got them coming in. They open up a series night with the Redlegs. So that would be, if you want to get a team when you won 3 in a row and 8 out of your last 10. If you want a team to come to town to play, it'd be the Reds, wouldn't it?
Well, I would think right now they're 20 under 500, and you know, if you go by the theory that you beat the teams you should beat, the Cardinals take care of business. You know, and that's the case by and large over the last 3 weeks. Most of the games that we have are against teams that have below 500 records. Not sure if that's a reflection of where we are in terms of getting hot, but I think we have. We've gotten some timely contributions from some of the September call-ups that stabilized the bullpen a little bit, and some timely hitting too. Memphis won 90 games in a shortened season. Not hard to figure out where the talent is right now, and so it's been a good September so far, and hopefully we can keep it rolling. We're like 8-2 in the month of September. So
won 3 in a row, 8 out of 10. So, and again, you got your 2 games behind the Cubbies, who are kind of floundering right now. So, as a matter of fact, let's see. We'll get into the schedule here in a moment. Let's see who the Cubs have. If you, they've got the Mets at home, and Cardinals got the Reds starting tonight. Lynn's on the mound for St. Louis at Busch Stadium. So,
of course, good deal.
Yep. So it's all good there. Now let's take a look at we made fun all summer long of the Rams. And I'll be doggone if they didn't come out on Sunday. Let's see, Rams 46-9 over the Colts. What do you think there now? That was a butt whooping.
It was, you know. Now keep in mind it's the Colts without Andrew Luck, so can't really move the ball. And the way I figured, we got one of our 2 or 3 wins on the season right there on opening weekend.
We can't be that negative. Come on now. You got the Redskins this week, and they apparently aren't very good. Cousins, when you got your quarterback, the leading rusher of your football team on Sunday. That tells me all I need to know about their offense. That this guy Cousins is a tuck it and run leading rushing quarterback. So
living in fear.
That's exactly right. So you got the Redskins coming. Now my boys, all right. I sat right here and said it last week. The Raiders going to go do a butt whooping on the Titans, and they did. So
for real.
Yep. Now they got to go back home and play the lowly Jets who got beat by the Bills. So I'm feeling good. Then we come to Washington and play the Redskins. So
you gotta like that schedule.
I'm liking the schedule real well. So anyway, we're talking to Rob Cole, the park manager of Bays Mountain Park. We're live here at Phil's Dream Pit. It is open and it is hopping already. It's hammer time. We got folks in here, and it's pretty cool because at about 5 to 11 they start lining up at the door waiting for the gates to open, and it's showtime, and here we go. And so we are open here again, the quest for perfect barbecue. Big Rob's going to get something to eat here in a minute, but tell me what's going on with Bays Mountain Park. What's happening?
Well, we're in our school mode, so to speak, where we've got days filled with school visits, and we're sad to turn the page from the summer, but we're excited to have school field trips hitting the park. This is kind of our element, so to speak. We enjoy this during the summer as well. Educating, teaching, sharing what we have, what we know, and we have a lot to share, and in a unique way. We have what we like to call 3,550-acre outdoor classroom. Right there is our park. We've got 40 miles worth of trails, but with that acreage, with that footprint, comes a lot of things that our students are studying in school, even right now. And so we're geared up. We're ready. It's exciting. It's a reminder to your viewers, for those who are in Sullivan County, City of Kingsport, and of course Hawkins County, those visits are free because their taxes are already paid for those school kids to come. So, so if you're a teacher looking to schedule a field trip, something good I think to keep in mind. You're not going to have to pay for your programs, and of course for those outside those areas, it's extremely low cost. And obviously we work with schools on their, particularly those on free lunch programs and whatnot. We want to be sure we're accommodating everybody as best we can and giving everybody the opportunity to enjoy our park and hopefully get first quality educational programming this fall. And of course, we'll already be getting ready for spring, believe it or not.
We're on Rob Cole from Basin Mountain Park. We're live here again at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. So last time we had you on the Mike's Medicine Mark, the announcement was made. The city's going to allocate some money to do some refurbishing and upgrading at Basin Mountain Park, and you were going to get started on doing some architectural renderings and some ways to improve the park. Where are you in that process?
Well, it's proceeding. It's one of those things that will take a little time. Since then, of course, as most folks know, we're on that in that discussion to possibly get even more money. So we'll see where that goes. But the bottom line, though, is we're looking at a pretty significant jump start, and we have our city leaders and of course our citizens to thank for that. And so we're really excited about the future. We're a 46-year-old park now, so what that means is, we've got some TLC that needs to take place at the park, and of course some updating and improving in some other areas. And so we want to do that and do that responsibly, take care of the park, its mission, its goals. When I think of folks that come before us, the Tom Bowmans, David Taylors, and Jack Grosses, and Ken Childress, folks who have left such a huge footprint there at the park and really set the tone. We want to be sure we take excellent care of what they established, the reputation they built. That includes taking care of facilities, programs, exhibits. We've got a lot to live up to, so we want to be sure that we do that and take care of it and put it in a place where citizens can enjoy it for generations to come.
Tennessee football may or may not be playing down in Florida. Of course, we got a story that Gainesville, as all of Florida did, got hit pretty hard. So, folks are all worried about playing football, and I'm thinking that's really, in Florida right now, it's probably the least of what they should be worried about. I know some of the games have been canceled. We got a running list here in a minute, but as far as college football goes, as far as Tennessee goes, analyze the first two games of the Big Orange, Georgia Tech and Indiana State. What do you think?
Well, we're not going to last long if we can't find depth on defense. You can't play. I don't buy the coach speak. You're just being stubborn and hard-headed. You gotta find a way to rest guys. You can't, in your first two games, trot out guys, your starters, defensive tackles especially, and play them 85, 90 snaps a game. It's a recipe for disaster. I hope there's some kind of methodology or madness behind it that changes real quick. I don't, this coach speak that you players gotta earn the trust. Well, you can't have those guys out there 85, 90, trust or not. You gotta put them in there and you gotta get what you can out of them. You gotta put the responsibility on their shoulders, see what they can do during game time. And we're 2-0. And how can you complain with that? I feel stupid sitting here talking about those things, but the reality is we've had a game against one really good quality, in my opinion, ACC opponent. Nobody likes playing Paul Johnson, that triple option offense. Nobody. It's a difficult game. We may not have, should have, and I understand the debates and arguments, but we won. That shows something. The guys didn't quit. They didn't hang their heads. They didn't even playing 85, 90 snaps. Didn't throw in the towel and say I can't give anymore. They gave everything they got. You got to feel good about that. That said, you're about to hit the SEC schedule, and what you've got isn't that much of a secret anymore. And where your weaknesses are going to be a little bit easier to pick up. You got the benefit of playing a Florida team that's only going to have played one game, and they've got a lot of question marks. Beyond that, you look at Georgia. Georgia looks pretty good so far. I would argue that you can't. Obviously, you can't sleep on South Carolina. They're rising. Their defense has some question marks, but boy, they sure put up a lot of points against a good NC State team. The East, to me, looks wide open this year. Missouri, I think a game to watch this week is going to be South Carolina and Missouri.
That's where I was going. Yep.
So I like that Tennessee's 2-0. I don't like the I don't like the look of the team at this moment, but again, we're 2-0, so how, again, it feels kind of stupid and odd to sit here and complain about being 2-0. Coaches are a lot closer to the fire than we are, and so have to think there's something going on. Maybe they are trying to play as bland as they can until they get to the meat of the SEC schedule. And, on some level I can understand that, but games like Indiana State, you've got to get your youth ready to play. You've got to get out there, get a comfortable lead, and you've got to get young guys in the game, and we just didn't.
What do you think of Garantamo? We got him. Again, we're talking to Rob Cole, as you see on the screen, talking a little Tennessee football. Got him in there for some pretty good snaps in the second half, and guy's got a cannon. I think a couple of plays he threw too hard. I mean, he threw some down the field that bouncing off shoulder pads. I'm thinking you gotta pull that back a little bit there, Cowboy. Not zinging 100 miles an hour, but question is, what do you think about him?
Looked like a freshman, didn't he? Looked like a freshman playing his first game.
Yeah.
I do tend to buy this stance, and the coaches seem to share that. You can't make too much off of one appearance, let alone his first appearance. I know he's 4 for 12, but he wasn't. He didn't appear to get rattled quite as easily. He's got a lot to learn. Obviously, he's got a lot to learn about recognizing defenses. Got to get more accurate, like you said, with his passing. I think right now it's pretty clear Dormady's your man. But yeah, man, it's not hard to see that Garantano he's got talent. You don't see that kind of arm, and if he can hone in on his accuracy and make solid decisions, and one thing that he's got that Dormady doesn't, he's got some legs, man. He's got wheels, and in that offense, if your quarterback can keep the defense honest and keep a few times and pull that ball in when the defensive end crashes in and you take off, Dobbs made a career out of that and won a lot of games, and he can do that. Eventually, it's going to make things interesting.
Talking to Rob Cole. What about my boys, Oklahoma? Not my boys, but the Sooners going to Columbus and beat the Buckeyes. And old Baker Mayfield took the Oklahoma flag and stabbed right in the middle of the 50-yard line. Came back and said, "Yes, I didn't mean to do that. I just got carried away." I'm thinking, yeah, right. What turnip truck did we fall off of? He didn't mean to do it. He went over in the stands and got the flag and ran out on the field and did it. Sure, he meant to do it. It wasn't like swinging the flag like, well, what do I do? I mean, it was obviously premeditated and orchestrated to go get that flag, and so
he knew what he was doing.
Absolutely. And I think the Buckeye faithful are a little concerned right now up in Columbus, and as well they should be, because they got it handed to them the other night.
Hey, you got it handed to them, plus you got your head coach popping off about other coaches' comments about their own team. And, that's never a good recipe.
There you go.
He's too good a coach to be doing that. If you want to leave that kind of comment to someone else, leave it to Saban. He can get away with it.
Yep.
Not that Mike can. It's just, you're looking at a different situation at Ohio State right now. They lost some talent. They'll still be there at the end. Yeah, those guys. He's a great coach. He's got some great talent. Man, those guys. They had a little hiccup. It's out of conference. Won't hurt them that bad at the end of the season. So
they've got coming up the next two games, Army and UNLV. So I think they'll get healthy pretty quick. So that big tough Big Ten schedule. Yeah, Army and UNLV. So Tennessee's, of course, got Florida and UMass, which is a cupcake game. And then they get into the waters get pretty deep with Georgia and South Carolina, I think, back to back, and then they go to Bama. I think if I don't have it in front of me, but so it's a little bit different. We're talking to Rob Cole, Base Mountain Park, back to the park. Barge rides. What's going on? Zip line. What's available for folks up here right now?
Yeah, we're still cranking, still enjoying the nice warm weather. Both the barge and the zip line rides are still in operation. Our barge ride, in fact, will operate right up until the end of November. So what that means is daily we have barge rides Monday through Friday. That's at 3 p.m. On Saturdays and Sundays, that's at 1, 2, and 5 p.m. Good opportunities to enjoy the barge rides, and weather permitting, of course. Even on a day like today, as long as the wind isn't too bad at 3 o'clock, we're going to get that barge ride out, and we're going to enjoy a nice relaxing ride on our 44-acre lake. Likewise with the zip line, we're while we've turned the page from summer to fall. That means our zipline schedule has adjusted a little bit as well. So we're doing zipline rides Wednesdays at 2, 3, and 4 o'clock, and then again on the weekends at 1, 2, 3, and 4 o'clock, both Saturday and Sunday. People want to blow off a little steam on the weekends, and we'll do our best to try to help them do that.
Buck football is talking about triple option. Here comes the Citadel coming to town, ranked 13th in the country. So the Bucks, they had a cream puff with the Limestone, and they go play the number 1 team in the country. Got beat 52-10. Now they come back home Saturday to take on the Citadel. I guess there'll be a game. I mean, Charleston got hammered with the floods from Irma, so, you know, I was there when Hugo hit, so I know firsthand about that scenario. I would assume the Citadel's coming to get up out of South Carolina, come play football. 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, but the triple option, for folks who've not seen it, it's very hard to defend and very hard to get a football team ready for it in a week's time.
It is. It's assignment football at its best. I mean, if you don't have an experienced defense, you don't have guys that understand where they have to be, who their assignment is, it's tough. And, you know, you combine that with the cut blocking scheme like Georgia Tech had. I'm not sure how the Citadel is operating their blocking scheme, but, you know, I can imagine it's probably very similar. You know, this would be a good test for ETSU. They're going to face this every year, once a year now, so why not? And to your point, you know, Citadel, you know, unless those guys stay behind to help in cleanup efforts, I guarantee you they'll be ready.
They're ready to go. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's run down the SEC schedule before I let him go. You got Colorado State at Alabama, Arkansas the week off after getting hammered by TCU 28-7. So they get a week to think about that, and then they go to Texas A&M. Auburn will be home to Mercer. Of course, Tennessee at Florida. That game may be moved to Atlanta. It's not been decided yet. South Carolina, Kentucky. That's a big matchup in Columbia. So, you know, I watched some of the Kentucky game. Old Snell, that running back, that guy looks like a bowling ball with legs. I mean, he hammers it. And so, strong runner. They rallied to beat Eastern Kentucky. Another big SEC game. LSU plays, goes on the road at Mississippi State. That's a big one.
Yeah.
In the SEC West. Ole Miss goes out on the left coast to play California, Berkeley. And that's where the hippies go. Isn't that the hippie school? Somebody told me one time that's a hippie school. I don't know if it is or not, but anyway, that's who they're playing. Missouri will host Purdue. As we told you, South Carolina playing host to Kentucky. Texas A&M will have Louisiana Lafayette. And Vanderbilt has Kansas State in Nashville. That's your SEC schedule. So I guess the biggies are LSU at Mississippi State and certainly Tennessee at Florida. So how big is the game? Tennessee, Florida, at this point in the season. I guess it's real big, right?
I think it's real big. Anytime you can get a leg up on one of what has been one of your traditional big-time hurdles to win in that division, you got to do it. Of course, that, you know, again, I think the East is as wide open this year as it's ever been, so every victory's got to count. But it's Florida. It's even bigger than that. It's,
oh yeah.
You know, we've come to almost dislike Florida as much as we do Bama. So. It's one of those you got to have, and we've not beat Florida at Florida in a long time.
As Barney told Andy, it's big. It's big, Andy. It's big.
Oh, it's big.
Florida, Tennessee, it's big. Hours are open up on the mountain at Bays Mountain Park.
Yeah, we're operating still on the extended schedule, 8:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, actually through Saturday, and then 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday.
There you go. And it's $5 a carload.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah, you can't beat it. Load them up, get them up there and have a big time. And again, they call it the crown treasure of Kingsport, and with good reason. I would even go further and say it's one of the treasures of the region, not just Kingsport. I mean,
Thank you. We
it.
appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, love it. I mean, where can you go and see what you can see and do what you want to do and hang out for $5 for a carload?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I think it's a wonderful bargain ourselves.
oh, absolutely. I've always said it's too cheap, but that's just for what you get up on the mountain. I'd bump it up a little bit, but that's just me because think you go to Dollywood, you get some of these other attractions, go to Biltmore, some of these places. I know it's apples and oranges, but from a cost standpoint, $5 a carload, and
Yeah.
I mean you can't beat it. So
We're happy with it.
Yeah.
We're thankful for the support we get, and we're truly humbled that we have so many people enthused and passionate about the park. And if I could say one more thing, with the hurricanes, it's not just impacting football games, it's impacting lives. We've got a lot of folks who are impacted by these hurricanes in our region right now.
Mhm.
And, I think we need to be aware of that. Every day when we meet people on the street, we ought to be, we ought to be kind. We ought to be showing acts of kindness. And I hope we'll be even more aware of that right now. And we ought to be doing it anyway. But when you meet someone out on the street, meet someone in the store, meet someone in a restaurant, meet someone at the park, speak life to them. You never know what kind of battle they're facing. In this case, we do know what kind of battle some of them have been facing, and we have an opportunity to bring a little bit of joy, a little bit of light to their lives right now in the middle of what is an uncertain time. Some folks may not even have a home to go back to. So we need to do everything we can to make their life as enjoyable, relaxing, as stress-free as we can.
I saw our president has ordered the USS Lincoln, the aircraft carrier, to get into the in around the Florida Keys and help out on a search, house-by-house rescue. So we've called in the military. That's how catastrophic it is down to the Keys. So sports is sports. I guess it's a good diversion from what they're going through. But in the big scheme of things, it don't mean a hill of beans, except people can get away from what they're dealing with and look at sports and focus on sports. So that's why we do this show. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. I don't care what they say. So get yourself something to eat before you head on back up on the mountain, and talk to you soon, all right?
Appreciate you, Big T.
Yeah, he's awesome. Love that guy. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll break down for you what's going on in Florida. We do have some cancellations, including the Florida State-Miami game. That's been changed. We'll tell you about it next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
We're back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Coming up, we got Zach McNabb in the house, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is like a phenom. So we got to get him on. He'll be on here in just a little while, and we're excited about that. Let's run down. Let's give you the very latest. Yes, I know. I got to put the glasses on, but that's okay. We got to do what we got to do. Hurricane Irma continues to cause scheduling changes. Florida International University, after moving its scheduled game with Alcorn State to Legion Field in Birmingham last weekend, it has canceled its scheduled road trip to Indiana this weekend following its landfall Sunday night. So Florida International has canceled their game going to Indiana. And so they'll work to schedule an opponent during its October 7th bye week in order to play 12 regular season games in 2017. Also, Central Florida announcing that its home game with Georgia Tech, originally scheduled for Saturday in Orlando, has also been canceled. So other options were considered, but the two schools chose to cancel Central Florida's, as their campus is hosting up to 1,000 National Guard members who are assisting in the recovery efforts. So that game has been canceled. Central Florida, Georgia Tech, gone. Florida International traveling to Indiana, that is gone. Florida's game with Tennessee is very much up in the air. The Southeastern Conference announcing that it is working in conjunction with both schools to assess the feasibility of holding the game on campus. Now, Gainesville, half of Gainesville is without power. They had the storm surge. I don't see how they can play the game there. They're talking about moving it to Atlanta to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, so that is yet to be determined. Also, the Miami-Florida State game has been moved from this weekend in Tallahassee to October the 7th. So that game has been moved. The Miami Hurricane Florida State game has been moved to October the 7th. South Florida, Illinois, that game is still to be determined. And Florida Atlantic and Bethune-Cookman, that game is still to be determined as well in Florida. So on a positive note, thought this was really cool. John Calipari and his Kentucky Wildcat basketball team raised $1 million on Sunday during a telethon that will go directly to Hurricane Harvey. You know, a lot of folks, and even they have said it down in Texas, you forgot about us because of Irma. Well, John Calipari and Kentucky basketball team on a telethon in Lexington raised over $1 million in a 3-hour event. Coaches and players took part in answering calls and raising funds. 100% will go to the Red Cross in Houston, Texas. I thought that was a very nice gesture put on by John Calipari and the Kentucky Wildcat basketball team. All right, NFL last night. Sam Bradford set the NFL record for completion percentage for Minnesota last season. His accuracy aided by the volume of short passes under heavy pressure. Last night started his second year in Minnesota style. 346 yards, 3 touchdowns. Vikings beat the Saints 29-19. Stephon Diggs, again, had 7 catches for 93 yards, 2 for scores, all in the first half. Drew Brees in a losing cause, 27 out of 37 for 291 yards and a touchdown on a losing cause. The Vikings beat them 29-19. Rookie Dalvin Cook rushed for 127 yards on 22 carries in the formal takeover from Adrian Peterson. So big win for the Vikings last night in Minneapolis. By the way, Drew Brees and Sam Bradford both in the final year of their contracts with the same agent, Tom Condon, who is sure to cash in on both clients. Brees by far has the better resume. 9 seasons in his career, but Bradford stole the show on his primetime stage last night. Also, Monday Night Football, the Broncos, a last-minute field goal. The rookie head coach iced a rookie kicker. Shelby Harris got a hand on Young Ho Koo's 44-yard game-tying field goal try with 1 second left. Denver began the Vance Joseph, that's the new coach, era with a 24-21 win over the Chargers in Denver on Monday night. Koo had nailed the kick moments earlier, but Joseph had called a timeout to ice the kicker. Went back out, and somebody just got their fingers on it, tipped it, and in fact, it was Shelby Harris who got a hand on Young Ho Koo's 44-yard field goal attempt. And so the Broncos hold off the Chargers 24-21. Phillip Rivers in a losing cause, 22 out of 33 for 192 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Trevor Siemian for the Broncos, 17 for 28 passing, 219 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and an interception. So Monday Night Football, again, Broncos beat the Chargers 24-21. It was the Vikings over the Saints 29-19. So that wraps up week 1 of the National Football League. And so here is your schedule for this week. Thursday night, Houston and Cincinnati to battle the Bengals. Sunday, the Eagles in Kansas City, Arizona at Indianapolis. Also Sunday, Minnesota goes to Pittsburgh to battle the Steelers, Cleveland at Baltimore. The Saints back home to host New England. Chicago at Tampa Bay with a asterisk there for sure in Tampa. Buffalo at Carolina. The Titans go to Jacksonville. That one will be with an asterisk as well, as they got hammered with a storm surge. Miami goes to L.A. to battle the Chargers. San Francisco at Seattle. Redskins in L.A. to battle the Rams. Dallas at Denver. Green Bay at Atlanta. Monday Night Football next week, Detroit at New York. And the game that really matters, the Raiders. My boys will be at home against the New York Jets for week 2 of the National Football League season. Quick break. We'll be right back. He's here. He's ready. Going to get him on a little early. My man's in the house. Zach McNabb is here and ready to go. He is the My Channel diecast geek, and he's brought some cars and trucks to talk about. And we'll do some show and tell next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Summer Drive to unbelievable savings at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. With a selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from, don't miss out on the Chevy Summer Drive sale. 17 Silverado Crew Cab 1LT, $11,000 off MSRP. 17 Equinox Traction Traverse, $5,000 off MSRP. 17 Cruisin' Sonic, 25% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live again at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Before we bring Zach on, let's talk for just a second about, let's see, let's go ahead and get the camera, get him ready to go because he's smiling. He's ready to go here. We'll get him on here in just a second. Here at Phil's Dream Pit, again, we got sandwiches to choose from: the dry rub chicken sandwich, the pork sandwich, the brisket sandwich. They got the all-beef hot dog that's hickory smoked. Can't beat it. Once you have one of their hot dogs, you won't want another hot dog, I can tell you. Pork wings, Italian sausage, jalapeno cheddar dogs, the Dream Dog, which is a hot dog topped with beans and slaw. It's awesome. All this available again here at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. That's just the sandwiches. They got the sample platters, the 2 meat, 3 meat. Your meat options on a sample platter are 3 ribs, 2 slices of brisket, 4 ounces of pork, and a pork wing. So you can get a 2 meat sampler platter or a 3 meat sampler platter, which comes with a couple of sides and a drink. The sides would include slaw, beans, potato salad, macaroni salad. You can't beat it. Where are we located? Here's the old Phil's Dream Pit. We're located right off of Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. And oh, by the way, there's a kids menu too. There's a hot dog, there's a small pork sandwich, there's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and a brisket. So that's for the kids. And of course, there's the desserts: the blueberry dream, the brownie dream, the banana pudding, and assorted cookies. So all this available right off of Interstate 26. And again, lunchtime is rocking in here already, and we appreciate that. So here's this young man. I'll tell you, this young man who is how old?
14.
14 years old. He'll be 15 later on this month. We had him on the show last week at Chick-fil-A. We'll be there tomorrow broadcasting live. And so we had such a, outpouring. I mean, I couldn't believe the hits and the reaction we got to this young man. He has a YouTube channel. Tell me about your YouTube channel. Tell me, first off, his name is Zach McNabb. You see on the screen, My Channel Diecast Geek. Tell me about it.
Well, it's just a channel where I upload videos, stop motions, which are just like animations, and then I do diecast reviews along with videos on my dioramas, which are just model scenes, and I'll do hauls every now and then, and I'll do like trip videos if I go, because last year I went to the Hall of Fame and stuff, NASCAR Hall of Fame, and I did a video on that, and I've been to Hendrick, and wherever I go, I make usually a video on it, like a Bristol or something like that.
So what have you done since last week? You were on the show with me last week at Chick-fil-A. What have you done since then?
I've been working on a new stop motion. It's coming along pretty good.
Yeah. So when you go to My Channel Diecast Geek, what will we find?
You find all my videos. It'll pop up, and then when you scroll down on the homepage, it'll have just like different playlists that I have listed there. And then there's different sections. You have the About section, which is just about me and what my channel's about. And then you have the playlist section with all my playlists. And then the video section where you can just scroll through all my videos that I've ever uploaded.
Now, your mother said that you haven't started doing any schooling yet today because you're homeschooled, but now your siblings are back home working diligently. Now, will you hear about this because you got out of work so far?
I'll probably end up doing it when I get home.
Yeah. Now, when you get home, will they say it's not fair because Zach got to go talk and we have to stay back and do homework? Will you hear about it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'd say you probably will. So that's okay because he'll go back home and do his work. But now we got some things to do. Let's show and tell. Let's start with the little Matchbox cars. Let's go with them first. And I'm going to put this one up to the camera a little closer. This is a Dale Jr. Exalta 88. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, tell me about this car.
This one is, like you said, Dale Jr.'s 2017 Exalta. He just ran this last, Saturday night at Richmond. It's one of my favorite Dale Jr. schemes, but Sam Bass actually designed this paint scheme, and it's one of my favorites. It's really colorful, as you can see, very bright, but really cool car. I like it.
All right, so if you went out to buy one of these, what would this cost me?
About $9 probably.
Okay.
They go up. They've been going up every year, but I think they're worth it, especially schemes like that.
All right, this is called a NASCAR Classic. Tell me about this car.
This is AJ Foyt's 51 Chevrolet, and I'm not sure where he ran this. I'm sure he ran it at some tracks, but it's just, I think it's on the sponsor. I think it's just Gilmore Racing or something like that.
Yeah.
I've done a review on it, I think, so.
This is
it's a really cool car, though.
And I understand the glares on the packaging with the lighting here, but anyway, you get an idea. That's a nice car classic. What would this cost me?
Those are a little bit more expensive because they have more metal. It has a metal base instead of plastic, and usually they're around about $12 sometimes, but it's just a couple more dollars than the other ones. But they're definitely, made
worth it.
well.
Yeah. All right. This one is. Describe this one for me.
This one is the 2017 Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race program car. We talked about this a little bit last week, and if you look down like the side and stuff, there are some donuts and stuff, and that's one thing I love about. I think this one's got a couple marks. The other one has donuts from last year, but these are race versions, which I think is really cool. It's one thing I like about the Bristol program cars, because they're always beat up and stuff, which I think is really cool.
Which is symbolic of Bristol,
yeah.
Obviously. Now, where would you get one of these program cars? At the Speedway?
I think you can get them on eBay after the race, but you can get them at the Speedway. You can buy the program and the program car for about $10 at the Speedway, so definitely worth it, because you get that car basically for $5 and a program for $5, so I think it's a really good deal.
Of course, our great sponsor on top of the car. Again, I'm trying to get away from the glare here, but there it is, the Food City logo. You can see it. And so this is the 17 machine. And on top of the hood of the car, see the Bass Pro Shop logo. So that one was the program, or is a program car. We're talking to Zach McNabb, the My Channel Diecast Geek here. We're live at Phil's Dream Pit off Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. All right, this is the Jamie McMurray ride. Tell me about this one.
This is Jamie McMurray's 2016 Mac Tonight Darlington throwback. This is when he ran last year at Darlington, which the Darlington race was just a couple of weeks ago. And he ran. I don't think he ran this scheme. He ran some other scheme. I forget what it was. But this is one of my favorite throwbacks from last year. I really like the blue and I like the stars and everything. I think it just stands out and looks really good. That's one reason I brought it. I just like the scheme and everything.
You see Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabatas. Of course, he's in the chase starting this weekend in Chicagoland. So the number 1 Chevy of Jamie McMurray, the Mac Tonight McDonald's. And so how much would this cost me?
About the same, about $9 or $10 usually.
We're talking to Zach McNabb again, the My Channel Diecast Geek. So this is how we find you. Just go to that address right there.
Go on YouTube and search Diecast Geek and it'll pop up.
All right. We got 3 more show and tells. What's next, big guy? Truck. Here we go, the truck. Now, what scale is this for folks out there? This is a bigger.
It's a 124 scale.
124 scale. Does this open up? Yep, it does.
Yep.
Okay, here's the 00, and I'm going to do my very best not to drop it. So there it is. What scale again?
124 scale.
124 scale. This is a Haas Automation for the Camping World Truck Series. So tell us about this truck.
This is Cole Custer's 2014 New Hampshire win. It was his first win, and it's actually, I think he's the youngest driver to win in the truck series. I forget how old he was, but I think he was like 16 or 17, something like that. He was pretty young. So it's really cool. It's a race version. It's got some rubber built up there on the front end and a couple of marks down the side with some rubber built up around the tires. And then if you look closely at the tires, which is a little hard, but you can go watch my video on this, it's got some tape and stuff, which is awesome. But I love the race versions. They're some of my favorites to collect.
I like how Zach plugged that. If you go to you can see this. It's like, drive them to your YouTube channel. There you go. My Channel Diecast Geek. There's the top of the truck. Okay. This is the Cole Custer truck. All right. 2 more show and tells here.
Yep.
Again, you can go to his YouTube, My Channel Diecast Geek. You see on the screen and check out everything he's doing. All right. Here we go. Tell me about this car.
This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2004 Bristol win from August. It was his only Cup win at Bristol, and it's a really cool car. It's really dirty on the front end. It's got a lot of tape and rubber, and a lot of rubber built up on the side of the car too, around the tires, which is really cool. It's also got a half donut on the side.
Oh, I see. Okay,
on the right side.
Let's put my. See right during the 8, see the donut and where this rubbed it, just like they do at Bristol. That really looks like what actually happens at the track. So, and I know my fingers are in the way, but I got to hold it so I don't drop it. So now the hood pops open, right?
Yeah, the hood also opens here. I'll see if I can get it open here. sometimes they're difficult. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go.
There you go. And that'll give you kind of an idea what's inside, obviously. What would this cost me?
I'm not sure what they cost back in like 2004, but it seems like I paid like $30 or $40 for it. That's what you can get like cars like from that year, because they're lower. But
what was cool the night he won the race, I interviewed him in Victory Lane. I'll never forget, he got out of the car and he said, I was getting ready to interview him on the PA, and he said, "You have a Goodies headache powder?" He said, "I got a headache that's thumping." I said, "No, I'm fresh out of Goodies headache powder," but I'll never forget that. Won the race. The first thing he wanted was something for his headache. All right, last one. Tell me about this car. This the other side of the sweep, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Junior's Busch Series.
Busch Series, yep.
At Bristol, and he won this race the night before he won the Cup race.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Bristol sweep, and it's actually his only Bristol sweep, and it may be only his second sweep in his career, possibly. I know he swept Pocono. I don't think he has any other sweeps that he's done, but this is a really cool car. It's also pretty beat up. It's got some half donuts there on the side, both on the right side, which is cool. And there's also one there on the left side.
Right below the 3M, you can see a little scuff mark where the wheel's been up, and that's actually how it works in NASCAR. So, and then on the other side, see if I can get that. It's going to be right in front of the 8. You see the scuff mark right above my fingernail. So, and again, my hand's in the way, and I understand that, but I got to hold the car. This is, of course, the sponsor. It's kind of obvious, is Menards. So, this was his. At that point, it was not the Xfinity Series, but the Busch Series, his win. So, the sweep for Dale Jr. at Bristol Motor Speedway. And how much would this cost?
Probably about the same as the other one, 30 or 40 now. But
we're talking to Zach McNabb. We got 103 days till Christmas if we're on the countdown, and we are. So now's the time for a NASCAR fan to start looking around for some gifts for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's 100 days out, it'll be here before you know it. So these will make good gifts under the tree, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you can find the Bristol ones, I would definitely get those, because I think those are really cool.
Yeah. These aren't for sale. These are just. No, he says real quick. No, we're not selling these. So, but anyway, so you're working on something again. What's the latest on your YouTube?
I'm hoping to get out here in the next week or two, but it's the Oak Island 500, and it's a 1969 race, a NASCAR style race. So it's gonna be really cool. We've got the old drivers like Richard Petty and Bud Moore and Benny Parsons. Bobby Allison and those guys in it, so it's gonna be really cool.
So, who is the most sought after out there driver of is it a Richard Petty car, a David Pearson car? What is the most sought after car that everybody would like to have? Is it a Dale Sr. car? What do you think is out there?
I think it's different for everybody, because I like right now one of the cars I really want right now is Junior's Michigan win from 2012. That's like one of my cars I really want, but it's super hard to find, like I said last week. But I think it's different for everybody. It just depends on what the person likes, you know.
And who they like, right? And who they like too, not just what they like, but which driver. And so I would think the car that Kyle Busch won with up at Bristol a couple of weeks back, completing the sweep, I would think that'd be a sought after car, that 18 machine. Any of them, the truck, or the Xfinity, or the Cup car, right?
Especially if Lionel makes all three cars, those will be a cool set to have in your collection.
And so Kyle Busch fans, it's probably what you'd want, and some probably would not. But so when Junior retires, we talked about this before, you're going to have to switch drivers. Who will you start following starting next year?
Probably William Byron. That's who I have for right now. But it could change. But probably William Byron.
William Byron. So, which can't go wrong with that. This kid's getting ready to drive the 24 machine next year for Rick Hendricks. So, and Chase is going over to drive the 9 car in honor of his daddy. So, good stuff. All right, tell them, look up in the camera again, and tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube. When you just go on there and search Diecast Geek, you can find me there, and then my channel will pop up, and you can click on there and subscribe. It's free. It don't cost any money, and you can just watch all my videos and everything. It's cool.
So you and your mom are here getting ready to eat for the first time ever at Phil's Dream Pit. Cool stuff. You hungry? Oh, yeah, it's good food, too. All right, give me some taters. I'll get you back on in a couple of weeks. You like doing this, don't you?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
It is awesome. He does a great job. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live from Phil's Dream Pit off the Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back live again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live here at Phil's Dream Pit. Again, right off Interstate 26, the Eastern Star exit. Open Tuesday through Saturday, closed on Sundays and Mondays. Phone number is 349-6437. 349-6437 is the number to call. Of course, we're on the internet as well. The quest for perfect barbecue, and of course, it's philsdreampit.com. So we appreciate them very much. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball. First off, from last night, let's bring down and run down the results for you. Let's clear the throat here again. Got the old frog. Sorry about that. All right, let's run down. There was a light schedule, Major League Baseball last night. Cleveland Indians go 11-0 over the Tigers, getting their 19th straight win. longest winning streak in 15 years in Major League Baseball. Again, 19 games. The Indians opened the series with the Tigers with yet another victory. Only the sixth team since 1900 to win 19 consecutive ball games. And so, again, a 26-game winning streak by the 1916 Giants is kind of controversial because they had some ties along the way. So, anyway, 19 is the record right now for the Cleveland Indians, going for number 20 tonight. And so, Detroit, tonight's matchup will be a lopsided one on the mound. Corey Kluber, a Cy Young Award candidate, is opposite Matthew Boyd, who is not a Cy Young candidate. So, looks like they could have a legitimate shot of making 20 in a row. But again, they win it last night, 11-0 to make it 19 straight. Blue Jays over Baltimore 4-3. It was the Yankees defeating the Devil Rays 5-1. Pittsburgh shuts out Milwaukee 7-0. Rangers over the Mariners 5-3. White Sox 11, Royals 3. Colorado beat Arizona 5-4, and the Giants pin another loss on the Dodgers. They lose last night 8-6. So there you go. One of Pete Rose's records was shattered on Monday. Rather, Rose's record for catcher's interference. Interesting stat. Yankee outfielder Jacoby Ellsbury entered the night tied with Rose at 29. He earned his 30th catcher's interference call, thereby claiming the record for himself. Not exactly a record one would be proud of, but a record nonetheless. And let's see, the Dodgers trying to right the ship. They've lost 10 straight, 15 out of the last 16. Their lead in the NL West remains a comfortable 9 games with 19 to play. The lead was 21 at one point. As recently as 16 days ago, they kick off a 10-game road trip with a 1-3 against the lowly Giants, losing last night. They lost to them 8-6 in San Francisco. San Francisco has lost 12 out of their last 16. So two teams that are kind of in a slump right now, playing game 2 of that series tonight in San Francisco. Let's run down the standings. First off, in the American League, Boston with a 3-game lead over the Yankees. Yankees won 3 in a row, 7 of their last 10. They're a hot baseball team. Baltimore's lost 5 in a row and 7 of their last 10. Boston leads that division by 3. In the American League Central, as we told you, the Indians have won 19 straight. They lead Minnesota by 13.5. In the American League West, Houston on top by a 13-game lead over the Angels, although they've lost 4 in a row. But they're okay. They're going to be all right. Houston, again, with a comfortable lead over the Angels, a 13-game lead with about less than 20 games to go in the regular season. In the National League, you have Washington with a 20-game lead over Miami in the East. In the Central, whole different ball game. Cubbies, again, the Cubs have lost 3 in a row, 6 of their last 10. They're looking in the rearview mirror to watch now the Cardinals, who've caught fire. Cardinals just 2 games back, as we said earlier with Rob Cole, who's a big Cardinal fan. They've won 3 straight, 8 out of the last 10. Milwaukee only 2.5 back. In the West, as we said, the Dodgers with a 9-game lead. Again, the 9-game lead over Arizona in the second place in the division. Colorado, by the way, they've won 5 in a row and 7 out of their last 10 for the Rockies. Wild card looks like this. In the National League, it's a 4-team race. Arizona, Colorado, it's Arizona's to lose right now in the wild card, then Colorado, then the Cardinals, then Milwaukee. In the American League, 2, 4, 6, 8 teams in the hunt. The Yankees and Minnesota are the 2 front runners right now. The Angels a game back. Texas 2 games back in the wild card. Kansas City 3 back. Baltimore and Seattle 3.5 back. And Tampa Bay, the Devil Rays, are 4 back in the wild card race in the American League. Schedule for today, first off of the Nationals, Atlanta, everything under the lights. Atlanta and Washington. Miami at Philadelphia, the Pirates in Milwaukee, Cubbies hosting New York, San Diego at Milwaukee, the Reds will be in St. Louis to battle the Cardinals, Colorado at Arizona, and the Dodgers with Clayton Kershaw on the mound taking on the Giants in San Francisco. In the American League, one-day game, the White Sox will take on Kansas City in Kansas City. Under the lights, Baltimore, Toronto, Detroit, as we said, will be in Cleveland, trying to stop that 19-game winning streak. Yankees will be taking on Tampa Bay at Citi Field. Away from Tampa Bay, of course, with the Storm. Oakland at Boston tonight at Fenway. Seattle at Texas. The Padres in Minnesota. Interleague game against the Twins. And Houston with Justin Verlander on the mound for the Astros. In L.A. to battle the Angels, and Albert Pujols and the kids there for the Los Angeles Angels. And that's your Major League Baseball look again on this Tuesday, September the 12th. Quick break. We'll come right back. We'll take a look at high school football. The polls are out this week. We'll take a look at high school football and some college football notes. Right after this timeout, we're live at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Nope, I'm not Phil. We're going to get Phil on. Phil is the man. He is the head coach of this team out here and does a great job. And boom, there he is, our buddy Phil from Phil's Dream Pit. So he was doing some gators.
We're getting some gator meat this Saturday, baby.
So you really are going to get some gator meat in here. You do it every year, right?
Do it every year.
Yep. So obviously you can see on the screen the owner of Phil's Dream Pit, and we're located right here, right off of Interstate 26. Thought that was pretty cool. Zach's mama have never been here before. This is her first trip into Phil's.
Yes.
And turns out you worked with her daddy way back in the day, which is pretty cool. Small world.
Right out of high school, started working for a surveyor, and her dad was actually the crew chief. So,
yeah, got a chance to hang with. How long ago has that been? She been out of high school, what, 10 years?
It's been. Let's see. I guess it was before I was married. So I've been married 34 years. So.
Wow. There you go.
It's been a while ago.
It's been a while. Yeah. But she knew and you knew, and that's all good. Yeah. Reconnecting. It's a small world. So, yes, Tennessee plays Florida this weekend, and you will have you're looking at getting some gator meat in here.
Working on it right now.
I love it. So now, how do you serve gator meat? Do you fry it, grill it? I'm going to ask some stupid questions here. So
it's very good, smoked with dry rub on it, or cooked with sweet sauce on it, or bacon wrapped. Several different ways you can do it.
So, having never had gator meat, would you compare it to what? Roast beef, turkey?
Yeah, the closest thing I'd compare it to would probably be chicken.
Chicken.
It is a white meat. So.
Yeah. Now, what part? This is another dumb question. He may laugh me out here, but as you look at a gator,
it's the tail. It's
there you
actually
go. The
tail.
Whack off the tail and
filleted out and
pull off the scales, and that's where the meat's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Get your boots made. Make your boots
and meat, gator meat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Of course, it's football time, as John Ward says, in Tennessee, obviously. So every weekend, I know in here on Friday nights when I come in, more times than not, when South's playing at home or Boone's playing at home or DB's playing at home or folks are traveling on the interstate to get to a game, a lot of times they stop in there to eat or they stop in there and get a dream pack.
That's true.
Yep. So
for the tailgate parties, and on Saturdays, I don't open till 11, but I have a lot of folks who like the early games down in Knoxville at 3:30. They're heading down early, so we're here. I got somebody here at 5:30, so if they'll just call the day before, we'll have it ready. If they want to pick it up at 7 on their way down to Knoxville, we'll have it ready for them.
Of course, the Tennessee game at Florida is very much up in the air. No decision has been made. There's talk about moving into Atlanta. Gainesville got a direct hit with the storm surge with Irma, so they may not be ready to play football there, but they're going to try and play football somewhere this weekend. It won't be in Knoxville. They're not going to give it a home. I don't guess they would flip-flop. I'm sure they'll go to a neutral site. They're talking Mercedes-Benz Stadium where Tennessee played Georgia Tech in Atlanta. That would be a kind of a neutral site of sorts, but they are going to play. And so we'll keep you posted as to when and where. But that's it still very much is on the calendar. Sampler platter. We don't talk much about that. Tell us about the sampler platter.
So you can do 2 meats or 3 meats. So if you want to mix it up and have turkey and ribs or pork and a pork wing, just whatever 2 meats you want to get. We do. It's not on the menu right now, but we've started cooking pork belly, and it's very good. I would suggest for your tailgating, you get you a pound of pork belly. They're cubed out, and they'll go a long way.
Pork belly. Now we talk about pork wings. Now we got pork belly. So you just never know. Phil's Dream Pit and gator meat. So it's always something. He's always kind of moving things around and changing things up. So pork belly. So you've sampled that and kind of tried it and put it out there, and people liked it.
It's going over quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you don't know what pork belly is, it's basically bacon uncured. So it's the same thing they make bacon out of.
So
you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong at Phil's Dream Pit. The quest, by the way, for perfect barbecue all the time. So one of the things you love to come over and describe every time I'm here once a month, love coming out of here. Tell me about the ribs. You love talking about your ribs here at Phil's.
Extra meaty. Pay extra to get these ribs from my food vendor. Got 2 types. I have a dry rub that when I worked for a logistics company, I spent a lot of time in Memphis. Fell in love with Rendezvous's dry rub ribs, and I don't think anybody around here had them until I started doing them. So that time in Memphis pushed me to come up with my own dry rub, and so that goes over well. And then I have just a sweet rib. Cook my sweet sauce on it the last hour or so it's cooking.
So when you sit down and eat, you and Diana, what do you eat? Which rib will you eat?
I alternate.
Go back and forth?
Yeah. I like the dry rub because I can add whatever sauce I want to it. It's not sauced. It's just got the spices, and you can add whatever sauce you want to it.
We're talking to Phil. Obviously, you see on the screen the owner of Phil's Dream Pit. Got a great staff. Let's run down the folks that make this place go for you besides you and your lovely bride. Who else you have in here?
I've got Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know her by her dreads, but Heart as big as Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Tennille on the cash register, and Jamie and Connor and Brandon, and got a couple of high school kids that come in the afternoons and the weekends to help wash these dishes that we dirty up every day.
Yep. So. Meat by the pound. Tell me about that from Phil's Dream Pit.
So we've got you can do the pork, the turkey, brisket. About any of the meats by the pound. The only thing, the chicken, I don't do any pulled chicken because it dries out so fast. But I do have a chicken breast, boneless, skinless breast. I cook with dry rub on it. It's really good. And I have a half a chicken on the bone. And they hold the moisture. That's why I do them that way. Just don't want to serve anybody any dry.
No. Now, I know it's early, but I'm going to say it anyway. Christmas is 103 days away. It's not that far away. It's around the corner. There are folks already beginning to plan holiday get-togethers, holiday parties, both personally and professionally, and you can help them with catering, or they can come by and buy the product here and go serve it themselves. Tell me how that works. Kind of plant that seed for the holidays.
Diana handles all the catering, but there's a couple of big company events we do during the holidays, and it's not just what's on the menu. We do some different things for folks. So if it's not on the menu, don't be scared to ask us if we can do it. The smoked spiral hams are just out of this world. Folks like to do that for their holiday parties. I've done prime rib for folks, so nothing's out of the question. Just if you want to do your holiday party for your business or family, just get with me, and if you've got something special you'd like to do, then we can help you out with that.
I have had the smoked spiral ham myself. Put that on a plate, smoking hot, big old thing of mashed potatoes and brown gravy and some corn over here and some beans and a hot roll. Whoo, smoked spiral ham from right here at Phil's. That'll set you free. That's good stuff there.
I think it's the best ham around.
Goodness gracious, it's awesome. Smoked spiral ham. So planting that seed for the holidays. So, which again, folks don't want to hear it, but it's 103 days away and it's coming. So might as well get ready for it. And again, I know folks already beginning to plan, where we're going to have the party, who's going to cater it, where we're going to get the food, and so on and so forth. So remember Phil's Dream Pit. It's easy. 349-6437 is the phone number, and the website is
philsdreampit.com.
philsdreampit.com. Last but not least, sometimes folks go, okay, adults love it, but you got anything out there for the kids? And you do. You got a kids menu.
Got a kids menu. I mean, for the price, you can't beat it. Kids can get ribs. They can get any. I've got the kids menu on everything. So, and they even have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches if they don't want any of the barbecue.
Mine like the pulled pork, and the little one likes brisket. Now she'll take that brisket. It looks like, I don't know, a fishing worm. She'll take it out and put it on I don't know why she does it, and cuts it up and puts sauce on it, but she eats it. The little people love the brisket, and they love the pulled pork and the hot dogs.
Beef hot dogs, kids they love those hot dogs.
I like the all beef hickory smoked hot dogs. Once you have one of his hot dogs, you won't want a hot dog anywhere else because it's hickory smoked and it's all beef. That's good. Whew. And then tell them about that too. That you call it the Dream Dog. Tell them about the Dream Dog.
Just it's an all beef hot dog smothered with baked beans and slaw, and it's a meal in itself.
Oh yes.
It's not something you're going to pick up and eat. You better have your knife and fork.
And a lot of napkins.
A lot of napkins.
It's awesome. Meat by the pound. The sandwiches, we didn't even talk about the sandwiches. Let me hit them real quick. I know he's got to get back, but dry rub chicken sandwich, the pork sandwich, regular and large. Brisket sandwich, we talked about the hot dogs. Pork wing. Tell me about the jalapeno cheddar dog and the Italian sausage.
So the jalapeno, it's a jalapeno sausage, and it's got bits of jalapeno and cheddar cheese inside the dog. So if you like a little bit of spiciness with your sausage dog, there you go. And the Italian sauce, it's just a sweet Italian sausage, and you won't get that. A lot of people don't like to eat them because of the snap, and so I peel the casing off before I cook them, so you don't have that. Don't have that old snap.
The snap, exactly.
To it.
That's why they're so successful. That's why when we get in here and we come out and do the show at about 5 to 11, they're lined out the door. And of course, we've had our first surge for the lunch here, and I've still got a good crowd in here. But last but not least, we always like to let you say that it's been a while back, but you went to a conference or a seminar, and you have turned this business over to the Lord. Tell me about it.
It was solely business. So it was a group of men out of Georgia that started it, and Carter LaCrawl actually went down into Georgia, and I know you know Dave McCauley, Steve's brother, but Carter came back and told Dave about it, and it ended up coming back to Doe River Gorge here in East Tennessee. Life-changing.
Yeah. You went and said, I'm going to sell out.
I
sold out for the Lord.
I came back and took the comment cards off the table and replaced them with prayer requests, and actually we get a lot of people filling them out. So
absolutely.
We get the opportunity to pray for people, and
he's honored you for it.
He's honored us for it.
Yep. This guy's a role model. I'm telling you, he's.
Don't know about that.
Oh, he's a role model to me. I look up to him because I think he's top shelf in his lovely bride. So, how's the motorcycle riding doing?
It's going pretty good. It's getting a little chilly right now. Actually, bought some leather chaps. So.
There you go. It ain't going to stop him. I can tell you that. He can buy some long handles and some leather chaps. He's going to keep on riding that bike. So, I saw you guys going down the road the other day, and it's been about a week or so, and I thought, I know those kids, and you were enjoying themselves.
I heard somebody ask somebody one time, what's it like, why is motorcyclists like that so much? And I read something the other day. It said it's the closest a human being will know to why a dog sticks his head out the window.
That's good. That's good. I've never heard about that. So riding a motorcycle is the closest a person will ever get to a dog hanging his head out the window.
We wonder why dogs hang their heads out the window then.
I love it. I love you, man.
Thank you, brother.
You're awesome. He's a great man. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk a little Milligan College basketball and also give you the latest high school football polls and who's playing where Friday night. We'll tell you all about that next. We're live here at Phil's Dream Pit on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. You see Coach Bill Robinson with us, a men's basketball coach at Milligan College, and we'll give you an update again. Tennessee, Florida, they are going to move the game, but they haven't decided where. Again, it looks like it may settle at this point. Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Of course, that's still up in the air, but it looks like Gainesville may not be ready for a football game, and I totally understand that. Miami and Florida State has been moved to October the 7th. That one has been canceled for this weekend in Tallahassee. Also, Florida Atlantic, their game on the road at Indiana. They've canceled that to keep the players home in and around Florida International. Also, Central Florida, their home game with Georgia Tech, has been canceled and postponed, and they're going to try and make that one up a little bit later on. Again, Miami, Florida State postponed to October the 7th. South Florida, Illinois to be determined, and Florida Atlantic and their game against Bethune-Cookman, 2 Florida schools to be determined as well. So on a up note, as we said earlier, John Calipari and his Kentucky Wildcat team did a telethon on Sunday night, raised $1 million from Lexington going directly to the Red Cross at Hurricane Harvey. So 3-hour telethon raised $1 million. A lot of folks in Texas saying, hey, you forgot about us because of Irma. And don't look now, but Jose, which has been spinning out there in the Atlantic, all of a sudden it's taking a direction of its own, and now it's, you don't want to hear this, but it's talking, they're talking now, maybe it may start meandering towards Florida coast, which is not what they want, and is gaining strength. So tough times, but the book says in the last days there will be tough times. We've had earthquakes, we got fires in L.A. and Montana, and of course hurricanes, but he's still on the throne. He's still the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And so folks wonder, Bill Robinson, why this is happening. I don't have an answer for it.
My dad started teaching. I remember as a kid, 9-10 years old, my dad talking about the end times and preaching from the end times. So just the Lord's way of getting our attention, wants us to look as if it could be today, and it could be. And we're supposed to live that way. And I believe that.
In 2 Peter, he says, he is long-suffering so that none shall perish. So I have seen and heard where folks have come to know the Lord down in Hurricane Harvey as a result of the storm. They've looked around and said, I got to make some change in my life. So for all we know, this is all happening. So, folks can come to get saved and come to the saving knowledge of the Lord. And that way they can guarantee their home in eternity.
I've got a good buddy who's a school administrator down outside Tampa. And he was one of the administrators for one of the shelters. And there's opportunities there to share the gospel during those times. And I believe that's part of the reason why. I don't think he's, some people say, well, this is, the way God's judgment upon our people. I think he's just trying to get our attention. He gives us opportunities, daily opportunities to have life lessons and put people like Greg Zorns in opportunities to share the gospel during times like this.
Yeah. One of the Hollywood ladies from Hollywood said, we're going through all this because Trump got elected president. No, I'm sorry. Or Obama. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has, it's a bigger picture than that. But anyway, we'll keep you posted on the Tennessee-Florida game. Coach Robinson is here talking a little Milligan men's basketball, and you've got a camp coming up this weekend right down the road in Kingsport. Tell me about it.
We sure do. It's at V.O. Dobbins Community Center, Saturday the 16th from 9 a.m. to noon. Just opportunity to get some kids in and get them excited here in the fall as we're getting in closer to basketball season, and just an opportunity for our guys to get out and serve the community.
Milligan basketball, you're in the middle of practice now, big time. Season's right around the corner. Give us an update. What's going on?
It's been really good. We've had a week of conditioning last week. We've been lifting. Obviously, that never really stops. But first practice, real practice, was last night, and went real well. And just kind of teaching the new guys, who are we? What our philosophies are and how we defend and the type of pace we want to play, and it's been really, really good. I really like our new guys, and the returning guys are excited and gotten bigger and stronger, which is what we want to do in the off season. So it's just an exciting time for us right now.
So I'm an incoming freshman. I'm on the team, and I don't know anything about Milligan. So tell me, what would you tell me who we are? Who are we? What would you tell me?
Well, we want to be known as a good, solid defensive team. We're going to change variety offensively, defensively, but the concept is constant pressure. Offensively, defensively, we never want a team to be able to relax, and we want everything to be hard. And it's hard to get kids to play that hard, 94 feet, 40 minutes a game. But we have the depth this year and the length and the type of guards' athleticism that we want to be able to play that way.
Who are some of the kids you're counting on? Maybe some local kids you could throw out that we would know.
Obviously Tyler Nichols and Bo Pless, both kids from Elizabethton High, are two kids that had huge impacts on the team last year. David Cassidy from Sullivan East has been shooting the ball great. He struggled some from the field last year. Last night he hit about 6 or 7 in a row. Finally somebody was just like, good gracious, is he going to miss one? Not even hitting the rim type shot. So senior leadership, somebody like that stepping up, we really need him to be good for us this year.
Back when I was a kid, the coaches back then, I don't know if they still use the cliche of gym rats. You got to be in the gym, putting in the time. You find kids this day and age, they're willing to do that?
We do, and it's nice to have an assistant coach who's single and lives across the street and has keys to the gym, because Jack Frost is our part-time assistant, and he's got part-time jobs here and there, but he's always free at 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's when a lot of times the guys will get him and call him and just say, hey, will you come shoot with me? And we've got 3 or 4 guys, particularly guys like Tyler Falkenberry, who's a freshman last year, trying to earn minutes as a sophomore now. He knows what he needs to do, and that's get shots up. He needs to be a consistent shooter, and those guys are doing whatever they can. Aaron Lavardi, a kid from the Bahamas, has been in just about every day with Coach Frost, just being able to work on his jump shot. And the guys, they know, they understand, and those guys who put the extra work in, it shows.
Did you say 2 o'clock in the morning?
Sometimes 2 o'clock. And with the gym, when you have men's, women's volleyball, men's, women's basketball, and JV for men's, women's, I mean, you have 6 teams trying to get the gym plus classes and everything else. Sometimes the only time we can get it are after midnight. And Coach Frost kind of always sticks it to me because he'll text me as soon as he gets done. Hey, 2 o'clock, leaving the gym. Just want to let you know I just shot with Aaron and Tyler. I don't keep my ringer on most times in the middle of the night, so, but he will let me know when those guys are in, and it's nice to have guys who put in the work.
And nice to have a coach to do that instead of you.
He's a servant leader. He's just a great kid, and he wants to coach, and he understands what it takes, and he's willing to do whatever for those kids. He's willing to serve those kids.
Inside the perimeter game, we talked a little bit about it. Inside, who you counting on this year?
Well, Will Buckner again is our starting post, and he and Jacob Catewood, both juniors, season now. Catewood was second team all-conference last year. We need those guys to be big inside, and we're going to play smaller. Aaron Lavardi played the 3 last year. He grew another inch. He got a 6'8" wing. 6'8" wings at our level are rare. We're going to slide a little bit inside, and we're going to play 4 guards more than we did last year and open up the floor a little bit. Saw a quote, a John Wooden quote today, talking about, part of being great is being able to continually change and grow and not do the same things over and over again. And that's what we want to do. We want to continue to get better, and we've got to grow and get better. And some of that's going to be some changing into our system.
Let's look at your schedule again. We're talking to, you see on the screen, Coach Bill Robinson, Milligan men's basketball coach. By the way, let me go ahead and give you an endorsement. It's a ways off, but if you're looking next summer for a basketball camp, there's none better, in my humble opinion, than the Milligan basketball camp. Not only do they have fun, my little one loves it. In fact, this man right here lit the fuse for her single-handedly to get her to play basketball. Now she's playing upward, and she's all excited about it because of this man right here taking a little bit of time after a practice last year. I can just tell you the story. Last year at camp, she was 7 years old a year ago, and they don't lower the rims, which I appreciate because you can't bring it down to them. They got to rise up to where they need to be on a 10-foot goal. So first 2 days of camp, she didn't make a shot, not one shot. And so she came home and she said, Coach Robinson said not to give up. I'm going to make some baskets. And she got in there on Wednesday and gritted those teeth, and she made 4 shots the whole week of basketball camp because of him. And so, because she didn't give up. And so this year's camp, she came in and she made a whole lot more than 4. And so she practiced in the backyard because of Bill Robinson. So he simply because he took a little bit of time, got down face to face with her and encouraged her, and put his arm around and said, you can do this. And so I will forever be grateful for this gentleman for doing that. So Milligan basketball camp, of course, will be next summer. You had a satellite camp here in Colonial Heights, and of course you had some on the main campus, but I would encourage you, moms and dads, grandparents, to take a long, hard look. They have fun. They are taught the fundamentals. He always has a devotion, talks about the Lord at the end of the camp, at the end of each day's camp, and then they have an option at the end of the day to stay in the gym and shoot ball, go downstairs and swim in the pool. So it's a fun-filled day. They eat. So I guess I'm giving you a PR machine for his basketball camp, but it really and truly is. Of course, I was over doing a couple of shows this year, but he does a phenomenal job. So I wanted you to know that. And having said that, moving on now, your schedule.
It's going to be brutal. We only had 2 home games first semester. Actually, until after Christmas, we only have 2 home games. So, and one of them's Union, who won the national championship last year. So it's going to be a lot of tests early on the road, and we've got a stretch right before, including Thanksgiving, where we play the 2 games here at the Meadowview, the big NEI Division II tournament here, where we probably won't be favored for about 6 straight games. We'll be on the road at Tennessee Wesleyan, at Reinhardt, Union at home, and then the 2 games here. So it's going to be a tough stretch. Over Christmas, we actually go to UNC Asheville, William and Mary again, and Troy down in Alabama. So we'll play 3 Division I schools, and then come back and then play UVA Wise right after Christmas, Division II schools. So we have 4 guarantee games right in a row, and we'll be ready by that time. And after classes start in January, we only have 2 away games, or 3 away games, but all of them are relatively close. It's Union, Montreat, and I think Brian are those three. So it's going to be nice to have some home cooking late, and hopefully we'll be ready and tested by then. So
it's not where you start, it's where you finish, right?
It is, and I think if we can keep our guys positive by the time Christmas comes around, we should have a great second semester.
Yeah, and the name of the game is to finish strong, get ready for that tournament, which will be held right down the road in Meadowview again, right?
It is. It's just a very unique setting there, and we like that. It's not really a home advantage for us, but our guys play in there at the Thanksgiving tournament, and we get familiar with the surroundings and we're going to have more people there than anybody else. So if we can kind of be heading in the right direction, we get a little momentum late, definitely to help us. It's an advantage for us.
Not only is he a coach, but he's also a father of two very fine three, but two that play, and that would be Willie, a.k.a. Brutus. He looks just like Brutus off Popeye. I call him Brutus, and he just grins. He's big as the side of a barn. And, of course, Sarah, who has been very dominant, to say the least, at Milligan her first 2 years. So brag on your kids a little bit.
Willie's been practicing, which is huge for us. He tore his patella tendon, as a sophomore, took a redshirt year, had surgery, and then came back and tore his right patellar tendon. So last time he had played was in January, and last Monday he had a full workout and been playing pickup, and he can go about an hour and a half, and then it just starts to hurt, and he's got to shut it down for a little bit. But he's been playing really well, and he's just getting back in shape. Just really looks good, and having your kids play with you, being on your team is just a really special opportunity for us. Hopefully someday we'll get a chance to coach together too. He really wants to coach, and Sarah's just Sarah, and it's hard to say. She doesn't do a whole lot during the summer, but she worked at Chick-fil-A and worked a lot of hours and was busy. But when she picks up the ball and off she goes, she's been special. And then Rachel, my youngest, who didn't come to college to play ball, has been asked to practice with a volleyball team as they got short on numbers. So she's been in the gym. So I can't be any prouder of my kids. They're good kids. They do their jobs academically. They still come to church with us on Sunday, come home for lunch, and it's really neat for my wife and I, even though we're empty nest, to have them so close and be able to know that we're going to see them not every day, but it's an awesome opportunity to be around your kids when they're in college.
Absolutely. And by the way, Sarah was named the defensive and player of the year of the same conference the same year.
Yeah, and second team All-American. So it's for a kid who never got one recruiting letter.
Not one.
Not one.
Played at Elizabethan.
Played at Elizabethan with all the talent that they had there, and she kind of got overlooked. And she didn't really care. She didn't think she was going to play in college and was focused on going to be an engineer. And Milligan added the engineering program right at the right time, which I'm very thankful for. And it's tough. It's hard. It's a great program. And she's in the middle of it. I don't even understand her. She's in statics class, and she's in applied electrical engineering, and I have no idea what she's doing. Yeah, it's way over my head. No idea. She got it from my wife. Is where she got it from. Much smarter than I am, but it's really great to see him grow up.
I don't know. I guess there is some stat somewhere. I don't remember all the years I've been around sports seeing a player on any level get the defensive player and the player of the year in the same conference of the same year. I guess there is, but I've never. I'm trying to think of all the NBA guys and all the college guys and girls, and I don't remember anybody getting a Defensive Player of the Year award and a Player of the Year in the whole This is not just a Milligan. We're talking about across the Appalachian Athletic Conference in the same year. That's very, very rare.
I'm sure it's happened, but I doubt it's ever happened from a kid who never got one recruiting letter. And that's the cool thing for me, is that she just put it in the Lord's hands and let it all, just him to determine where he wanted her to be. He followed her, and he's blessed her. So it's neat to see her commitment.
That would be a platform for her to go out and speak to kids, in particular young ladies, saying, I never got one recruiting letter. I'm at Milligan, and in the same year I got named the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference and the Player of the Year in the conference. And of course, she's got 2 more years of eligibility, so it's no telling where she'll end up as far as on the all-time scoring list.
And she'll definitely get a lot more attention from the other teams, I think, this year, and that something we've talked about, and she's got to develop her game more and know that it's not going to be she's not going to surprise anybody. I think she snuck up and surprised people as a freshman, and she had some pieces around her that didn't take as much attention, So now she's going to get a lot of attention, and how she's going to react to that is going to be very interesting to watch.
Be a target somewhat on her back.
Absolutely.
She'll be the hunted. Now, they'll know she's on the floor, Sarah Robinson. So and they'll know he's on the sideline, roaming the sideline as the men's head basketball coach. Last one, website. Where do we go to find out about Milligan basketball?
www.milliganbuffs.com. Buffs as in Buffaloes, and all our information's on there. New roster's already up, schedule's up. Daniel Manger, of course, does an awesome job and takes care of us really well. I appreciate him more. I can't really say that around him because I don't give him many compliments, but he does a phenomenal job.
Yes, he does.
And makes my job much easier.
I hope the folks in Milligan understand what a great job he does do, starting with Bill right on down to Mark Fox and all the folks, because Daniel Manger, he told me the last time I had him on, is it 16 sports? No, it's more than that. He told me the teams of all the different JV and everything else he's in charge of, and the young lady he brought with him down to Cherokee Barbershop last week. Yep, Jones. She's a crackerjack.
He's got a great person to help him, and she does an awesome job.
Yep. So, MilliganBuffs.com.
MilliganBuffs.com.
Gonna get some lunch?
Sounds great.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Great man right here. Love having this man on. Love being around Milligan sports. Quick break. We'll come right back as promised, and we'll run down high school football. The polls are out, and give you the schedule for this week and get ready to wrap this thing up. We'll be right back after this, live at Phil's Dream Pit on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here with the ratio. It goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Got a couple of minutes left. Got some sports updates for you, which is why we do the show, to keep you posted and in the loop. So here's what we've got. We have, it has been updated and confirmed. It will be Tennessee playing Florida in Gainesville on Saturday. That is going to go. They're going to go ahead and play that game in Gainesville at Ben Griffin Stadium. So in the swamp, that will go on. Tampa Bay will host Chicago on Sunday in Tampa Bay. The Bucs, in consulting with the National Football League and the Tampa Sports Authority, have been waiting to assess the damage from Irma. And, of course, Raymond James Stadium, where the Bucs play their games, was used as a staging area for local law enforcement and the military during the storm. They will play the game Sunday, the Bears and Tampa Bay in Florida. Tennessee will go to the Swamp on Saturday and play the Gators in Gainesville. Also, South Florida playing their home game in Tampa as scheduled Friday night against Illinois will take place as scheduled on Friday night at Raymond James Stadium. So that's the very latest. Of course, we told you Miami, Florida State has been moved now to October the 7th in Tallahassee, but Tennessee will play Florida on Saturday in the Swamp. Let's take a look at high school football. The polls are out this week in 6A football. Murfreesboro, Oakland, number 1. Science Hill losing to Greenville drops from number 5 to number 8 this week. 5A football, Beach at number 1. Daniel Boone actually dropped one down to number 6 in the state after losing on the road to Elizabethton. 4A football, Greenville stays at number 1. Elizabethton stays at number 6, even though they beat a higher class team that was ranked in the state. Cyclones stay at number 6 right now in 4A football. In 3A, Alcoa at number 1. Johnson County, the Longhorns, stay at number 4 in the state. In 2A football, Meigs County number 1. Happy Valley, the Warriors up to number 7 this week after being ranked 10th last week. And in single A, South Pittsburgh at number 1 and Cloudland in at number 8. So out of Carter County, Elizabethton 6th in 4A. You have Happy Valley 7th in 2A and Cloudland 8th in 1A football. So don't tell me they don't play good football in Carter County. They're always so 3 out of the 5 high schools are ranked in the state this week in Tennessee high school football. Here's your schedule. On Friday night, Bearden will be at Science Hill. Chucky Doak travels to North Greene. Claiborne will be at Unicoi County. Cloudland will be at Hancock County. Crockett home in Jonesboro to Cobb County. Farragut goes to Jefferson County. Gate City will cross the state line and play at Daniel Boone Friday night. Elizabethton hosting Granger. Happy Valley, the Warriors go on the road at Cosby. Hardin Valley will be at Morristown West. Johnson County will be at West Greene. Tennessee High will be at the Stone Castle, hosting Morristown East. Oneida at Cumberland Gap. Greenville back home after the big win over Science Hill, hosting Pisgah, North Carolina. South Greene will be at Sullivan North. Sullivan South will battle Sullivan Central in Colonial Heights. Sullivan East will be at Union County. Unaka at Jellicoe. And the Bragging Rights of Hawkins County Friday night. Volunteer Cherokee at Dobbins Bennett has an open date. In Virginia, Abington, the Falcons of Christiansburg. Eastside at Lehigh. Holston at Castlewood. Lebanon will be in John Battle to battle the Trojans. Twin Springs hosting Patrick Henry. Ridgeview will be at Union. Rye Cove, the War Eagles play at Thomas Walker Friday night. And Virginia High will be on the road at Wise Central. J.I. Burton has the night off. And that's a look at high school football here again on this Tuesday, wrapping up the show at Phil's Dream Pit. The quest for perfect barbecue at philsdreampit.com. Don't forget, 103 days away from the holidays, so if you're looking already to plan for a catering situation or that you can come and get the food here and take it to your particular party and serve it yourself, you can buy meat by the pound. You can, again, have them cater your event. All you got to do is go to philsdreampit.com or give them a call at 349-6437. Or don't even wait till Christmas. Again, you're getting ready to go tailgating at any of the high school or college football games. Of course, East Tennessee State plays the Citadel coming up on Saturday on a 1 o'clock kickoff in Johnson City. Folks will come by here and on their way to the ball game and pick up some barbecue to head to that ball game. Virginia Tech, they're going to be at East Carolina. As we said, Tennessee hosting or on the road at Florida in Gainesville. So if you're going to have the crowd over to watch the game, or you're traveling to the game anyway that you're going to be doing it with a crowd and need some food, be sure and call them at 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. I want to say thanks to our guest, Bill Robinson, the Milligan men's head basketball coach, Zach McNabb, the My Channel diecast geek, young man who does a show on YouTube. He's 14 years old, and we had him on, of course, talking about the different cars he takes a look at, these collectibles in NASCAR. Of course, Rob Cole, the park manager of Bays Mountain Park, and Phil Pipkin, the owner here at Phil's Dream Pit. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. Back in the saddle tomorrow. We'll be at, tomorrow we're going to be at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday we'll be at Food City in Gray. Next week Monday we'll be live from Charleston, West Virginia, up there on the road with Hardee's on Monday. We'll be in West Virginia doing a show there. Tuesday will be at Bracken Paving. Next Wednesday, Chick-fil-A. Next Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet. And next Friday, we got a surprise show for you next Friday a week. But tomorrow will be at Chick-fil-A, Crossings in North Johnson City. So for Phil Pipkin, all the guests, this is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Until we greet you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Chick-fil-A at the Crossings at North Johnson City, we'll tell you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.